Hey guys, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to another edition of the Supergirl Season 5 review series. And today I'm going to be talking about episode 10, which is called The Bottle Episode. And before we get into talking about the 10th episode, I just want to quickly bring everybody up to speed with what's happened so far and how we got to this point. So, in the Crisis crossover event, Supergirl was a paragon. So what that means is anyone who was a paragon in the Crisis event will remember all of the events that had happened before and after. So anyone who was not part of the Crisis had their old lives erased and essentially rebooted, so to speak. So what we saw in the last part of the Crisis, which was part 5 in Legends of Tomorrow, the whole universe has been rebooted as a result of Oliver's sacrifice, and there are a few different changes and different twists in this new Earth that's called Earth Prime. And essentially in this new Earth, Lex Luthor is the boss of the DEO, but he's also a Nobel Peace Prize winner. So he's essentially a quote-unquote good guy. But Supergirl and everybody else, and we all know that's not the case. But J'onn J'onzz, Supergirl, and anyone else who was a part of the Crisis event as a paragon will learn that over the course of time that there are different changes to this new Earth. So, with that all said, let's get right into it. Let's talk about episode 10, the Bottle Episode. So we start off this episode with a Lex Luthor voiceover in an advertisement for the DEO. As the advertisement is playing, we see Kara with her sister Alex walking down the street, is having a very hard time to accept that Lex Luthor is now the boss of the DEO. It's also explained that they can't restore the world's memories because of its impact on relationships, and that it would literally blow everyone's minds. But Supergirl's friends know the truth, and while Kara wants to talk to Lena, Alex tells her that she shouldn't know because in this new world, Lena is now their friend and partner. Now, for those of you who may remember, before the Crisis event, Lena already knew the truth that Kara was Supergirl at the end of season 4. So Kara came out and said that I'm Supergirl to Lena, but Lena had already known, and throughout the course of the first half of season 5, we had seen Lena kind of in a dilemma where she wants to be good, but at the same time she's trying to embrace her dark side as a Luthor. So in a way they were kind of like setting up Lena Luthor to be the main villain, but obviously with the events of Crisis, all of her memories have now been erased and she remembers nothing, or so we think. Meanwhile, we see Lena wake up with her memories intact and finds herself in her brother's presence. Lex reveals that his deal with the Monitor was to ensure Lena would survive with her memories intact. Lena says that she is in hell, and Lex explains that their public philanthropy is a cover-up for their real plans, and Lex claims that he wants her to be his partner going forward, and he also claims to not know who or what the Leviathan is. Brainy and Nia are out for a walk and to get smoothies when they inexplicably encounter a second Brainiac 5. The two Brainy'S tussle with each other, each wanting to arrest the other. Supergirl then shows up at Lena's office and tries to warn her about Lex Luthor, but Lena knows and tells her so. Supergirl tries to pitch Lena on helping her using similar language that Lex used, when Lena reveals that Supergirl cautioned her to be careful and leaves without pressuring her. Meanwhile, at the DEO, it turns out there are lots of Brainy'S, including a female one and a DEO director, and one that starts glitching out and says that everyone is in grave danger. Turns out someone killed the glitchy Brainiac 5, and Alex confirms that they are all Brainy. Turns out the Brainy they're used to is Brainiac 5 Prime, and the issue they are facing is the anti-life equation. Now, the anti-life equation. Anyone know what that means? No, the anti-life equation is what Darkseid is after. Could we see Darkseid show up in the Arrowverse? Never say never, that's all I've got to say. Meanwhile, we see Brainiac 5 Prime revealing that there is no more multiverse, so these other Earth Brainiac 5s cannot go home. At the Obsidian, Gemma Cooper, the Leviathan lady, walks in and Andrea greets her warmly. Whatever wormhole brought the many Brainiac 5s to Earth Prime also brought over all the patrons of Owl's Bar from various other Earths with them, including other versions of the Kryptonian witches responsible for rain. You remember the Rain Killers? Yep, from season 3. They're there, but no rain, sadly. At the Luthor Foundation, Lena meets with Lillian. Lex also restored her memories, but Lena wants to team up with her. Lillian isn't interested and Lena tries to push things by saying she'll just team up with Supergirl. Lillian suggests that Lena would end up being her friend all over again and suggests a partnership with Lex would make more sense because Lena will never trust him. At the DEO, we see the Lady Brainy access Lex Luthor's computer and finds out information about Leviathan. She then meets with Brainiac 5 Prime at Owl's. He tells her that he uses personality blockers, which is why he's so detached from the big brain. Lady Brainy tells him her story and explains that love makes us better. Elsewhere, Nia encounters Emo Brainiac 5 as he goes to steal the bottle that contains his entire world. Emo Brainy bottled his world before the anti-wave matter and he is the one killing the others. He then attacks Nia and escapes before Brainiac 5 Prime and Supergirl can stop him. Emo Brainy's evil plan is revealed. Lady Brainy explains that the bottle can't be opened because it will destroy both worlds. At Obsidian, Gemma, really Gemini, gives Andrea the idea of a true virtual world. Brainy Prime reveals to Supergirl his own history with his people's bottling of worlds and explains that it was his father who put 3 personality inhibitors on him. Supergirl gives Brainy a talk, ensuring him that he is good. Little Brainiac reference here. Maybe we might see him one day. When Brainy tells her that her skills to inspire hope is magic, they realise that Emo Brainy is going to ask the Kryptonian witches to open the bottle world. A bar fight breaks out between Emo Brainy plus witches and Supergirl with Nia and Brainy Prime. The fight damages one of Brainy Prime's personality inhibitors. Nia convinces him it's okay to take them off. He turns into his true form, so that means he turns into the proper Brainiac 5 with the green skin and blonde hair. Emo Brainy promising him that they will find a way to safely open that bottle and restore his world, and then pulls the witches and Emo Brainy into the bottle so they can wait with their world together. With the danger solved, the remaining 2 Brainies decide to join with the big brain. However, Lady Brainy tells Brainy Prime what she's discovered about the Leviathan and Lex and cautions him that if they want to save Earth Prime, he has to work with Lex and do it alone, giving up everyone until he saves the world. She then removes her life projector, places it on him and joins the big brain. Lex tries to convince Lena to work with him and uses a truth seeker to convince her. He tells her the truth about when he'll betray her, but also says he doesn't want to be alone. They end up partnering up. Later, Brainy goes to visit Nia and he breaks up with her. As the episode draws to a close, we see William tells Kara that he doesn't trust Lex because he thinks that Lex is responsible for the death of his friend. It's also revealed that Lillian and Lex are also working together, planning to take over the world. Meanwhile, at the DEO, Brainy teams up with Lex, offering to help defeat the Leviathan. Lex says that he needs the knowledge from the future and reveals a doppelganger of Wynn actually exists, and he may be the key to bringing the real Wynn from the future. So this episode closes out with Brainy and Lex working together. Overall, this was a really good episode, and I feel, as I've said many times, I feel Supergirl has been on a real nice roll ever since the game-changing season back in the third season of Supergirl, and this was a really good episode, and it really sets things up in the new Earth. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the events will play out in episode 11. So I'm going to wrap this up now. What did you think of episode 10 of Supergirl? Did you think it was good? How do you think Brainy and Lex will work together, and how do you think it figures into Win from the future? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will be back next time to talk about episode 11 in the next edition of the Supergirl Season 5 review series. So until next time, take care everybody and stay safe.